It is a distinct honor for me to welcome a New Yorker, our director and Border Czar Tom Homan, who is here today at the New York State Capitol to talk about two pieces of legislation, specifically Lakin's Law, named for Laken Riley, and the Green Light Law. And you're going to hear from him, no doubt, on all the efforts that are happening under his leadership, under President Trump's leadership, to secure our border, both south and our northern border. Very important to a lot of New Yorkers here. Should be important to all New Yorkers. You're going to hear on his efforts to end sanctuary cities, or to certainly work to combat sanctuary cities, which are sanctuaries for criminals instead of being sanctuaries for people like Laken Riley, which we're going to hear about. But it's, again, distinct privilege to have Director Homan here. He's a New Yorker from Carthage, or I guess West Carthage. Technically, I don't want to get in trouble there. I know there's a difference. So one time I said Carthage, and somebody said West Carthage, and I said, okay, well, okay. But he's a New Yorker, just as President Trump is a New Yorker, and I think it's a reminder. When you see the work that Director Homan is doing, it is a reminder of the important role that New Yorkers are playing in this administration. And I just think that is tremendous for the state, and I think it shows you. And who knows better sometimes the crazy policies of the far left than New Yorkers, right? Because we have to live them every day sometimes here. So. Again, I'll let my colleagues talk about Lakin's Law, the details, Lakin's Law, Green Light Law. But the real takeaway, and I know, Director Homan, we had a talk beforehand, both of these laws work and they aim to restrict our law enforcement, our local law enforcement, from working with federal law enforcement, federal immigration officials who are tasked with enforcing existing immigration law. It puts our law enforcement, it puts them at greater risk. It actually, the Green Light Law makes it a felony for them to cooperate with ICE and our immigration officials, which is really just unconscionable and disgusting. To actually tell a law enforcement officer who takes an oath to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of New York that they will be the felon, they will be the bad guy if they cooperate or work with Director Homan. He's going to, I think about Mayor Adams, who no one wanted him removed until he started working to try to end some of the sanctuary madness in the city of New York. And Director Homan, again, might be able to speak to that as well. But Lakin's Law, Laken Riley would be alive today if it were not for Jose Ibarra and sanctuary policies here in New York that released him. He should have been on a plane somewhere, and instead he went to Georgia and murdered Laken Riley. And the Green Light Law, I've talked to Border Patrol agents, I've talked to immigration agents. This law is making their jobs more dangerous. It's making it more impossible to do what they have to do to protect the people of New York State. It's not about driver's licenses. If that's what it was about, that's all it would be in the law. But it's all about handicapping our efforts to police and secure our border and to deport people who are here illegally. And we're talking about the most violent and worst people who are here illegally. Criminals, gang members, people that you wouldn't want in your community if they were legal, let alone being illegal. And so, again, these are two laws that our conference and the Assembly Republican Conference and the Senate Republican Conference have worked to get repealed and worked to get enacted. And obviously we haven't had a whole lot of success with this governor and with the Democratic majorities. But you know what? The cavalry is coming, whether it's Director Homan, whether it's AG Pam Bondi, or President Donald Trump. There's people at the federal level now, New Yorkers in some cases, who absolutely understand what needs to be done, and they're doing it, and this conference stands ready to work with them any way we can.